Hello there everyone, it is Rasmus Gaming and we are back for the Division 2 draft analysis, and with me I have Adam and Chris.
Heyo, how's it going?
You may know them as former analysts for the GBA, so they know their stuff, and we're just going to go over each team, what they did well, what they didn't do well, what we think would help them going into the season and going into transfers. So we are going to start off with Amazing Chi and NewCrustle United. He's fat. Very fat.
Yes, he is.
I mean, the top half is fat. Then it gets pretty thin.
What with like Haxorus, Mismagius, and then Typhlosion, Archeops. That was a pick. I'm not so sure if I actually like Archeops all that much. Like, it's fast.
I really don't.
I mean, I don't like half the team, so.
I mean, Mega Venusaur plus Zapdos, that's really, really strong. Empoleon is not the best bulky water, but in the case of wanting...
I have a lot of problems with Empoleon. Let's talk about them. Empoleon's bad.
No, keep quiet. You can't just say Empoleon's bad. You have to say...
Empoleon is bad. I'll tell you why he's bad.
Oh, alright, okay, hold on. Alright, why is he bad?
Subpar dual typing. You lose several key resistances that you have with water, and they become neutral, because steel and water together isn't that great of a mixture. Like, you're taking neutral fire hits now on your bulky water. That's silly and dumb. It only has one real ability you're ever going to use. You're not going to use Defiant unless you're just going for cool points.
Unless you're a man, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, unless you're just straight up like, no, I'm going to run Defiant, Aqua Jet, Bandit, and Empoleon.
That's actually horrifying. That's actually legitimately scary.
I mean, it is until you realize that, like, it's still not scary. So, it's a wall with no recovery. Terrible. That's just always terrible. I'm going to say that about every wall on here that doesn't have recovery.
I mean,
it's terrible.
He can help mitigate that with, like, Healing Wish, Mesprit, plus Wish from Aromatisse, so it's not terrible, but
right.
At
that point, he's trading Mesprit for Empoleon, which is a net loss because Mesprit's better, and he's bringing Aromatisse, which is a net loss because he's bringing Aromatisse.
You can't just write off Aromatisse like that. Aromatisse
I just did.
Oh my lord. I think
so. Like, and also in this team structure, again, like, I get why you would get Empoleon. It gives you a steel type, so you can get your little, steel fairy dragon core. But it's not. His isn't the greatest. And then it gives you a defogger. But honestly, even though the other defog option is weak to rocks, running defog on Zapdos every week is going to be way better. Because again, Zapdos is going to serve as a better wall because it has recovery. It also has momentum options, which is another thing Empoleon doesn't have and doesn't bring to the team.
But Empoleon does get Stealth Rocks, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he also has Crocodile. Probably doesn't like Mesprit get rocks or something.
Mesprit does get rocks. Archeops gets rocks.
Yeah, like, he's got a lot of rock options. Again, it's like he just wanted a bulky water and he wanted a steel, so he threw the two of them together, and Empoleon's not good.
Alright, so moving on from Empoleon. Jesus, that was a 4-minute rant about Empoleon. Other than Empoleon, the team structure is actually pretty decent. Like, you've got different wall options in Venusaur, Zapdos, Crocodile, even Mesprit, Aromatisse, and all that. Those are pretty good walls in and of themselves. Crook, there are probably better options just because, again, no recovery.
Yeah, I mean, you're usually going to be running Crook for either Intimidate juggling or just straight up, like, Pursuit trapping.
Yeah. Mega Venusaur and Zapdos as well, they can be run offensively, which is interesting. Mesprit is kind of like just the glue that holds things together. You can get U-turn, you can Volturn with Mesprit, you can run it physical, special. As I said, it gets Healing Wish. It's just a really, really good Gloomon. Haxorus isn't the best dragon type. It's kind of spooky when you get a Dragon Dance up, but again, in this kind of format, you're trying to get a free turn where to even get any sort of setup is actually really difficult.
He's basically got to bring it in and bluff a scarf in order to get a free Dragon Dance up. And yeah, most people are gonna either, you know,
try and call him out,
that and stay in, call him on the bluff, or, you know, do something else tricky like run fucking Sash with Thunder Wave. You know, like stuff like that. I mean, and especially for 10 points, like that's a little bit on the pricey side for something that's pretty one note.
Yeah.
Granted, it does hit like a truck.
It hits like a truck, and it has decent coverage. So it's. I think if it was like 9, I would probably invest in that. But trying to put it on the same tier as things like flipping Lucario and stuff like that, that's, I don't know.
I mean, you have Donphan and Dragalge also at 10 points. I would take Haxorus over both of them. So. Yeah.
I mean, with his team, I think Haxorus will do work because he doesn't have a lot of other things that want to do that kind of work.
Yeah.
Besides running Crocodile and hoping for Moxie sweeps, like.
Yeah.
That's, you know, Haxorus is the horse pulling the physical cart here.
Yes. Yeah. Unless you want to see physical Typhlosion.
No one wants to see that.
Or Defiant Napoleon. We were just talking about that.
Mismagius has some pretty cool options. It gets Taunt. It's kind of spooky when you get Nasty Plot up, but it's just kind of a standard ghost. 7's a little pricey for Mismagius, I think, but
I actually disagree. I think it's good. I think 7's fair.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think 7's fair. It's not, you know, it's not too much, and if you're really running tight, then, you know, it might be a thing to double check, but, like, ghosts are good. Speedy Ghost, even better.
Yeah, it gives you basically 3 immunities, access to a base 105 speed mon. Like, I really like Mismagius, and I always look for it in the lower tiers, if you will, lower point value.
Yeah.
I guess maybe I could see it going a little bit less, but it's really, really good.
I mean, topping 100 base speed for under 10 points is really good.
Yeah.
Like, that alone is really good. And, you know, it's got great coverage. Like,
it does. It really does.
You know, for 7 points, I think it's good. It's not the most versatile thing, and it's not necessarily a super specialist that does, like, it's one thing the absolute best, but it's a good, like, average versatile thing.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Dog.
You're gonna because they're like, oh, we need to wrestle while you're recording, so I apologize.
No, it's fine. Typhlosion, it's a fire type, it gets Eruption. It's pretty fast.
Fire immunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the fire immunity is the big sell here.
Yeah. And then there's Archeops.
I mean, unless they release, like, alternate ability Archeops, I don't think it's worth 4 points.
I think if you look at it, you could run Sash Endeavor, and you could run, like, Acrobatics Roost, and that could work well with the correct investment. I'm just a little hesitant to say, like, it's bad, it's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's got like you said, it's got a couple of gimmick options, but not enough gimmick options to throw someone off every week, and not enough to make it not sit on the bench several weeks.
Right. I mean, that was I was about to say. Like, I feel like it's gonna be heavily dependent on team matchup, which isn't a bad thing, but it's not something that I would really look for in a mon.
It could be very nice to just have something to pull off the bench mid-season and be like, hey, nobody's played this. What am I gonna do? You know, but
yeah.
Again, for like that 4 points, you could have spread out somewhere else. Like, he could have gone up a dragon tier, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
He could have gone up a fairy tier, please.
I mean, getting to, like, what round is that? Round 6? Yeah, round 6 and round 7. He picked up Aromatisse and Haxorus. You're running pretty thin at that point. So.
Yeah. I mean, he could have grabbed, like, a Zoomerl. That would have been a better option.
Yeah.
Especially because, again, he is kind of lacking on physical hitters.
Yeah, that's something you should really look at going into the transfers.
Yeah.
Except the problem he's gonna have is that now that he has no money left over, what is he gonna drop to pick up something physical?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's gonna hurt him real bad.
Yeah, maybe he can unload something.
He could drop
Someone.
Napoleon.
Yeah. That sounds like a good idea, Adam.
Oh my lord. Alright, moving on to Electric Storm and the Melbourne Victory Stars. I like it actually. It's one of the better drafts in D2. It has lots of solid options. It has him on top, which I know you guys love.
No, just me. I love him on top.
No, it's actually grown on me. I was debating today whether it might be my favorite spinner in the format.
Oh, shoot.
Whoa.
It might be.
Moving up in the world.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to him on top. He's got solid volt turn options with Electros and Fernape. Salamence is just good because Special Mints, Dragon Dance Mints, Scarf Mints, it's just good.
Intimidate as a physical wall mints, honestly.
Yep, Fat Mints.
Like,
it's just good. Registeel, it's not as good as Regirock, but again, people want to have their Fairy Steel Dragon Cores, so it's passable there. It can reliably get up rocks multiple times. It's just good for spreading around status and stuff like that. Dragaugi hits like a truck, gets spikes, and that's good. Tauros, I feel like, is really underrated.
Special Tauros.
Yeah.
What's Tauros base speed? What are we talking about?
110, if I remember correctly.
Something like that.
That's actually, yeah. It's up there.
That and it gets sheer force. So
Yeah.
and it's fast and it's like a truck. So I feel like a lot of people overlooked, or he just sniped Tauros out from under them, and then he got Mega.
I don't think it was on anyone's chart.
I know it was on a couple people's. Like I knew Carter wanted it, and then I was Juan was looking at it too. I don't know who else was looking at it, but Tauros I feel like is gonna put in work. Mega Altaria, Mega Altaria is really difficult to build around, and I think he did it really well. Because this team suits versatility in Mons.
I think he also built a team that doesn't necessarily need Mega Altaria, but Mega Altaria fits in.
Exactly.
Like, you can I would imagine you can kind of tell from the fact that Mega Altaria got picked so late that he was obviously like, oh yeah, Mega Altaria still works with this team.
It's fantastic. It finishes out the Steel Dragon Fairy Core, and it just really supports everything else on the team.
Yeah, it's kind of. It's pretty expensive, and I do think, like you were saying, not only is it difficult to build around, but I think it's one of the more sensitive Mons to play, because it's very easy to bring the wrong Mega Altaria set.
Yes.
And if you bring the wrong Mega Altaria set,
you are just boned.
It does nothing. It just dies.
Yes, I agree.
If you bring the right one though,
you just win.
Yeah.
I was gonna.
I don't like Suicune either. No recovery. Registeel, no recovery, no momentum.
That's gonna hurt him because he doesn't have anything like Wish support and or Healing Wish support, which is kind of bad news bears. But you know.
I mean, he could run 3rd gen event and Wish Salamence, but don't do that.
3rd gen Wish Salamence, best Salamence.
I mean, you could get Defog on that too.
True.
So, just saying.
Yeah. Electros is just fat and good. I like it.
Electros.
Yeah, Electros is really good. If you're willing to not go speedy electric, it's really good.
Yep.
I mean, most people want the speed, but
slow volt switch still has its usage, as well as
slow volt switch has a very important place in the format, honestly, that I don't think enough people appreciate.
Yeah. It also gets access to Giga Drain, so if ground type comes in, you make the prediction, Giga Drain up. It's easy.
Yeah.
Team is good. I like it a lot. It's probably one of top 5 teams, I think, maybe top 3.
I probably put it in my top 3.
Yeah.
Like in the 3rd spot, tied with somebody else, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Again, like just the fact that the regular walls, the things that you expect to be the walls, he doesn't have a lot of recovery there, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Registeel, like I said, is I think dead weight most of the time. Like,
yeah.
It stagnates. You know,
it just kills momentum.
Yeah, when you have momentum options like he does, it's just gonna come in, and then your only options are either to stay in and like T-wave S-toss until it dies, or switch it out and let something else that doesn't want to take the hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we talk about the fact that he has 3 dragons?
Well, I mean,
Triple Dragon Core.
One of them's a fairy, which takes out the main, issue with dragons. And then the other one isn't one of the quad Ice Week ones.
Yeah.
Like Dragalge is actually very good typing wise. And, when you were listing off all its accolades, you didn't mention still very much a viable special wall.
Yep.
Like,
it's hugely fat. It's amazing.
Even though you're gonna want to bop stuff with adaptability, you can still easily just like throw an assault vest on it. Granted, it's gonna be slow as molasses, but
yeah,
it's gonna tank a lot of special hits and then bop stuff.
Also has the access to Scald, which is nice.
Yes, yes it does.
But no recovery. I think that's the thing he's gonna struggle with, is managing HP.
Yes. And as well,
and I think even though we were talking about all the options Mintz has, I think you're gonna quickly see it regulated to like the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, but I think it's gonna be a little bit necessary.
Yeah.
All right. Chaos in the Sky and the Boston Brelooms. He did well, and then Sneasel and Ambipom happened.
This is accurate. This is very accurate.
I was so upset. Like, okay, hold on. Ambipom would be good for his team. I think that it's fast and priority, and it gets triple the elemental punches. That's good. But
dude, how are ya?
Hi.
No, I agree with that. I've been very outspoken against Sneasel in my history doing this. I don't know why people keep picking it. Yes, I understand that like Stab, Ice, and Dark are good. And yes, like it's got decent stats. But it's also like quad weak to one of the most common forms of priority and offense in general in fighting. And, still super effectively weak to Bullet Punch, which again is also a super common form of priority. And neither of those things really care too much about Nice Shard, usually if they're running Stab. And in this instance, Sneasel and Ambipom do basically the same thing. They're both small, frail, stupidly fast things with a couple of forms of priority and decent coverage. Grabbing both of them back-to-back for 6 is confusing, to say the least.
Especially when he could have grabbed a 10-point somewhere, because he still had the 4 left over.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like, could have thrown the 4 in there. If you really want Sneasel, grab the Sneasel. It's whatever. But
it's... Shout out to Dad. I think I'm gonna leave that in too.
Hey, my dogs are gonna be in it, so you might as well.
Fair enough. Sneasel is not worth the 6 points. It's just simply not. Like, it's fast, it has priority. It's just it doesn't hit hard enough, and it isn't fast. Like, it's fast, but it's not fast enough to put it on the tier with like things that are actually good on RU, like Medicham and the Hitmon Pokemon, whatever. But it's just, it was killing me that he bought it. Like, when you
What do you guys feel about Tyrantrum? Because I'm kind of like,
I don't like Tyrantrum.
I don't like it either.
I actually kind of like it. When you think about it, it's fast enough to be a really good wall breaker. It's got access to Dragon Dance.
Is it? I thought it needed a couple of Dragon Dances to get anywhere.
I thought it was pretty slow.
It's base 71.
That's too slow.
Too slow to be a wall breaker?
Yeah.
The vast majority of this wall breakers are like base 60, base 65.
Yeah,
No.
It doesn't hit as hard as the vast majority of like wall breakers. And you're also you're comparing it to a couple of wall breakers. You're not comparing it to a thing he has on his team, Victini, arguably like one of the best wall breakers.
It's the best. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. I think it was a good option for his team. I like it a lot. It pairs well with Mega Aggron and stuff like that.
When you have Victini, why do you need another wall breaker?
Cause you gotta break everything.
And if you want talk about something that's slow and hits hard, you have Mega Aggron. It's slow and hits super hard and takes every hit 3 times better than Tyrantrum.
You know what? Why did he pick up Sneasel when he could have picked up something that actually was better than Donphan at keeping off hazards?
I mean, Donphan's not a bad pick.
I want, like, if you got Victini's like, alright, come in, kill something, leave. But you're also hurting yourself with the fact that your only form of hazard control is Donphan. So you kill Donphan, that's it. They can just put up rocks for the rest of the game, and then you're limited.
That's very true. Some kind of secondary hazard removal would have been really useful.
Like, if he had picked up Xatu, I think that would have been fairly strong.
Yeah, anything that could have acted as even just a deterrent for stuff, you know? Like, obviously you're not going to predict every time with, like, bringing in Xatu and reflecting hazards back, but just the deterrent of having it there would have been really useful, I think.
Yeah, that and Xatu also gets U-turns, so Victini plus Rotom Watch, plus
Xatu, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and his walls aren't exactly stagnant either. Like, Donphan can put out damage, Mega Aggron can put out damage, Rotom can put out damage, and
I mean, unfortunately though, like, we're in a rough spot again for recovery.
Yes,
like,
yes.
He's got some recovery on Shaman. He's got Pain Split on Rotom Wash, which isn't reliable, but it's something.
Right.
It's better than nothing.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Gardevoir go wall a lot this season, and it's good at it, honestly.
Yes, it is.
Like, regular Gardevoir is very good. Like, if you bring the wrong team against Gardevoir and it gets some kind of crucial trace off, you just gave them the game, you know? Like, even as a wall. But, you know, no recovery on Donphan. Mega Aggron is good enough that, you know, it doesn't have recovery outside of rest, but, like...
It's so fat.
It doesn't care.
It doesn't care. And Healing Wish again from Shaman. So if it gets too low, just bring it back up. And that's actually kind of worth the trade.
And Gardevoir has Heal Bell and Regular Wish and Healing Wish.
Yep. So Chaos did well. I don't like Sneasel.
Yeah, I think the offense is a problem outside of Victini, and hazard control. That's.
I mean, Shaman can definitely put out damage. Gardevoir can put out damage. And
yeah, he has things that can, but nothing that, you know, like he has the one thing that's gonna punch a hole.
Yes.
Like, he doesn't have anything special to punch holes.
Yes, that's a bit of an issue.
I mean, unless you do Seed Flare Shaman and hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, you really got to keep your fingers crossed on that. And even then, you're losing its value as a wall there, which, you know, it's got really good value as that.
So Chaos just needs more hazard control and a special wall breaker, basically.
Drop Sneasel, drop maybe Tyrantrum or Donphan, and trade up for, you know,
better hazard control and
something better.
Yeah, something that wants a choice specs every now and then. Like,
yeah, I mean, Specs Guard is okay.
Yeah,
Specs Amber Palm. There we go.
You can do it.
It's Nasty Plot, so you know.
You can run the infamous special Sneasel set.
Oh God, no, please. Alright, moving on to Lacen MC and the Philadelphia Flygons. I know, Chris, you really, really like this team, but Adam and I have our qualms about the fact that his only form of hazard removal is freaking Braviary.
Yep.
I'll admit that's a problem. That is straight up a
No,
problem.
hold on. Look at this. You got Mega Heracross, you got Thunderous Eye, you got Arcanine. None of these things appreciate rocks. His hazard removal is weak to rocks, and it's not even good at defog.
Right.
Actually, I don't think has anything that resists rocks.
No, he has Regirock.
Does rock resist rock? I didn't think it did.
No, it doesn't.
I think only ground does.
It doesn't.
Oh, what? Oh, I'm wrong. I'm gonna.
Rock is a terrible type. It's terrible.
Why does it rock resist rock? That's so dumb.
I've been asking that every time I've used Aerodactyl ever. Right? Like, I don't know why it doesn't. If you hit two rocks together, they don't really seem affected. But
they
I guess that's the
a little
definition of neutrality. So.
Alright, fair enough.
Alright, Arcanine's got recovery, and he's almost always going to be using it defensively.
Yes.
So, I'm not too worried about the rocks there. Thunderous Eye, yeah, it's gonna bite it.
It's frail as all hell as well.
It's gonna bite it. Again, Braviary, it has recovery if he wants to do that. For the defog.
But it means he's gonna have to bring Fat Braviary every single week.
This is true. I admit that's bad. But I think he's got enough elements to really like not give a crap about it. Like he's got Vaporeon. They can pass wishes all day. Outside of think about that. You named 3 out of 9. So like a third of his team cares. And even then, not really cares.
A third of his team actually cares, and then everything else gets guaranteed 12% off.
None of it quad cares.
None of it quad cares. It cares a lot.
He's got passable recovery options or innate recovery options. Like I said, Arcanine doesn't care. Vaporeon doesn't care. Serperior doesn't care. Regirock has Drain Punch, which I guess doesn't care. And I don't know, Mega Heracross is just going to come in and sweep stuff. Like, you're not going to be bringing that in and out anyways.
Yeah.
Maybe Kangaskhan gets Drain Punch? I don't know what the fuck a Kangaskhan does.
Kangaskhan's good as shit. It gets Fake Out, Sucker Punch, Frustration. I mean, everything gets Frustration. Drain Punch. Yeah.
Yeah. See, like, he's got enough bulk there with sustainability that rocks aren't the hugest option, like the hugest thing, like, and it's a thing Adam and I have been talking about with another league doing another draft. He has a mono type grass fire water core, and I think that's really good.
Yes it is.
I think that's way better than like loading up on dual typings and stuff like that, because it's just the pure fundamental of the most basic core in the game.
That and having, more often than not, having dual typings is actually more of a pain in the ass than everything else.
Exactly. Like, the secondary stab is nice for offense, but all of the weaknesses that brings to you are not worth it on walls.
And
especially for your bulky water.
Yes.
Weaknesses, and call it a frickin' day. So.
Yeah. And look, all 3 of those, even though obviously like most of the time Superior is probably going to be offensive, but all 3 of those out of that core have innate recovery. Like,
yep.
That's really good and really hard to do. Like, and you know, they.
Oh shit. Did I die? I died a little bit. No. Guys, come back.
I'm dead.
I'm good, mate.
Okay, I'm back.
I mean, people forget that Vaporeon. We can hear you still.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We heard you the entire time. It was very awkward.
I didn't hear you.
I think people forget that I believe Vaporeon has a base 110 special attack.
Yes. No.
So, yeah.
Did I?
People forget that. Yeah.
It's up there.
Because I mean, every evolution has a 130, 110, and 95, and then like a 65, 65, 60.
It does.
It has like 95 special D, 130 HP, and 110 special attack.
It does.
Which is crazy. Like, people forget that those Scalds are still going to hurt a lot, even if you're not invested. That's 110 base.
And that's better than some of the things that know you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this. are going to destroy teams. Like, it's not going to be huge 6-0s. He's probably going to mostly be running 3-0s and stuff like that. But if he plays the team as it should be played based off the draft, he can systematically just pick apart teams and wear them down.
I mean,
which is odd, to say of a team that's weak to hazards, and usually hazards are how you get worn down. But
I mean, like, Bolt Turn plus mono Firewater Grass Core plus really good wall in Regirock plus the king of all physical wall breakers, or one of the best physical wall breakers in Mega Heracross. It gets great coverage, and it gets 5 hits on every single thing you what's it. Breaks sashes, breaks lives. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good team. I wholeheartedly admit he needs to find some other defog spin option.
Drop Kangaskhan, drop Braviary, get some good hazard control, and then this team is top 3 again as one of the best drafts in D2.
Yeah.
Also has no stop for Volturn though, because there's no ground or electric immunity.
Yeah, that's kind of bad news bears for him. No, Thunderous Eye gets Volt Absorb.
No, that's Thunderous T.
Thunderous T. I'm sorry, I'm wrong.
It's all good. It gets Defiant and Prankster is the 2 moves that it gets, or 2 abilities that it gets.
Yeah, so. I mean, Prankster's okay. I mean, it slows things down with T-Wave, so I don't know. How does he deal with Volt Turn? I guess rocks of his own.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on.
Wycombee Wanderers, Trojan Horsey. Entei first pick was questionable, and then he pulled it together and got again a really, really good team. Latias, great defog option, can be a physical wall even. Good ability in Levitate. Amoonguss, another great wall, has innate recovery and regenerator. Can put things to sleep, which is also nice. Florges pairs well with Amoonguss and Latias. Fat can be a physical wall and a special wall. As aromatherapy option, own healing. Lucario can be special or physical.
I mean, you passed over Slowking, that's regenerated.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry, I missed it. That and Slowking can also be offensive, which is kind of spooky when you think about it. It also has great coverage options as a wall. So you predict a switch in and just bop something, which is really, really good. Gliscor is, I think it's a little bit dangerous, just because that 4 times weak to ice thing, and ice types kind of benefit from going against Troy's team, but he has enough options to kind of mitigate it. So I'm going to be interested to see how he tries to get around that ice weakness. Honchkrow is spooky as fuck. Like, Moxie Honchkrow is the bane of my existence. I've lost to that thing so many times, especially because it can also be, again, special. And then he has Raichu, which is, I guess he's trying to go, I guess he just wanted a solid Volt Switcher.
I mean, it's base 1 and speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Has access to Fake Out Encore, so it can be a decent wall breaker if you think about it, but it's not wall breaker, stall breaker. There we go.
It's like if you don't think very hard on it.
I like the team. I feel like Entei plus Lucario plus offensive can be wall is gonna be his game plan for every single week, but that's not bad. He didn't waste money on a Mega, which is, I think, interesting and actually benefited him really, really well. And yeah, I like it. It's good.
I didn't notice that he didn't have a Mega until now, actually.
Yeah.
Kind of...
Same.
Yeah, I like the Regenerator Core, basically the staple of RU Regenerator Core of Amoonguss Slowking. Latias is probably the best defogger, to be honest.
Agreed.
And then he's got dual E-Speed in Entei and Lucario, which Lucario is always just super dangerous to set up on either side and has stab priority on either side. And then Entei just kind of hits like a truck, especially if you just banned it. I like his team a lot. Like you said, I was kind of, when he first drafted Entei in the first round, I was like, ooh, I don't know how this is going to go, but he really pulled it together after that.
Yeah. If anything, I think I don't like Gliscor. I just don't like it. There are better ground types than Gliscor, and if you're gonna use it as a stall breaker, that's fine. That I feel like there are better options for stall breakers. If you're gonna use it to help stop Volt Turn, you have Raichu, which isn't the best, but Gliscor just gets popped by Hidden Power Ice, and a lot of Volt Switchers just run Bolt Beam because Bolt Beam is just good coverage.
I mean, Gliscor doesn't get popped by just any Hidden Power Ice. It's gotta have something behind it. Like,
yeah,
it's gotta be coming off of a decent stat. Like, I think you're overhyping the quad weak part a little bit much. Like, obviously, things running Ice Beam and any kind of stab ice, yeah, it wants to get out of there, but short of that, it takes a lot from almost anything. I don't have a problem with it. It's not a thing I would pick, but it does its job well enough to validate it, like, getting the respect it gets.
I'm calling some kind of either agility or sword stance pass from
yes
Gliscor at some point.
I mean, Gliscor is fat enough to do it reliably, so yeah.
And he could potentially be slow enough to do a slow baton pass, take the
Which
pass
is-
off.
Yeah.
which is very, very good.
Mhm.
Good team. Top 3, maybe?
Yeah, top 3.
I'd say so.
And then, okay, we're gonna move on to Ruby Marrow and Glass City Gliscor. Oh boy. This
Probably
team-
my least favorite team.
it's
Like, straight up.
he followed his team name and decided to draft glass cannons until you get to
Granbull, which was
And-
like, all right, maybe he's gonna turn it around, and then it's like, nope.
yeah.
No,
Okay, let's look at this subjectively.
Keldeo, it's not the first round pick I would go with.
Yes.
And I'm not sure it's a first round pick,
I don't.
but I
Yeah.
don't hate it. You know, I'm like, okay, Keldeo does stuff. Keldeo is valid in the format. It hits things. It's got a little bit of mix-up game. It's got enough like regular bulk. Okay, that's fine. It's a strange first round pick,
It's
but
not.
whatever.
It would be like round 2, round
Yeah.
3. That's Keldeo's area. He had the option to pick things up like Mew, Manaphy even. Manaphy's, I don't even know
lot
if
of-
yeah, Clefable even first round.
There's a lot of things that should have gone before Keldeo.
Yes.
Arguably.
Yes.
It didn't. And you're like, well, you know, it's kind of the Entei philosophy of, all right, if that's what they want and they're, you know,
If they know
confident about it,
if they
then-
like it, they know how to use it and they're going to use it well. That's fine. That's
Yeah.
perfect. That's a good
Yeah.
first round pick and they should
Yeah.
be applauded for it.
but then you pick Mega Beedrill and it's like, oh, fuck this.
Okay, no. Mega
just-
Beedrill is not round 2 pick. Mega Beedrill is like the last pick.
I'm just gonna say that Keldeo is his bulky water
Yeah, I'm aware.
comparatively to Sharpedo.
I'm aware. So, all right, I've said it before, like, in these leagues, unless you have some unseemly amount of people, even if you're running a 16-person league, there are more than enough good megas to go around. No one has to have a bad mega.
I think there's about 36 megas out there.
Yeah, there's more than that, actually.
Oh, are there?
I believe it's a flat 40.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about all that, but
I believe so. I could totally be wrong. But regardless, either of those numbers, even if there's 36, like, that's still, there's no reason to have a bad mega. So when you're like, Mega Beedrill, that's a last round pick, it's not even that. Let's be honest. Like, it's not.
Oh, well, hold on. Mega Beedrill is fast and it hits like a truck. It has those qualities. It gets adaptability U-turn, which hurts things that even resist it. Is it worth 14? No. Are there better?
Is it worth 14 in the second round when other stuff's getting snatched up?
No.
Is it worth being your mega spot over a lot of other things? Especially when you look,
I could even see
when
Mega
you look at the
Skeptile.
draft.
If
Yeah,
Mega
when you look
Skeptile
at
on
the
this
draft
team, yeah.
later, like, this man needed a mega wall. Like,
Yes.
he need this. Like, this is just bad. It's
Yeah.
a bad pick. Like, it's not the worst mega in the world. It's not. It's just
It's not
you're
Mega
either gonna have
Audino.
you're either gonna have to hope that they bring something in that that gets scared of regular Beedrill and gives you a free Mega, or you're gonna have to run Protect on it every week.
Or you're just a man and run no Protect U-turn.
Yeah, and then like I said, if it's anything in the world that isn't scared of regular Beedrill, which is most things, you don't care. And you just bop it and it's dead. Like, so that was silly. Latios is very good at what it does. There's no reason to hate on it.
Yeah.
At this point, you're just kind of like, all right, well, this man's coming out swinging, like hitting hard.
And then we're like, okay, after Latios, he's gonna have to get some bulk, right? No.
Yeah,
He
gotcha.
picks it. He picks a Talonflame.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
All right.
Talonflame's still a good mon, but
Talonflame is
maybe not so much.
Talonflame is. Having used it last season and looking at it in the past, it's not worth the money. It
It's a
really
trap.
is.
It's a trap.
It's honestly just a waste. Like
It's a thing people look at and they don't fully think through the scenario and they go, oh man, all that priority. Oh man, that's gonna be good. I'm
But-
gonna get it.
yeah.
And then they sink too many points into it and they get it too many rounds early. Like, if you're sitting in the last round and you have 15 points, yeah, get Talonflame. Who cares?
Like, when you think about it, Talonflame is super duper easily stopped. Like, there are plenty of walls that a lot of people have that can just straight up stop Talonflame. It's not
Absolutely.
it's not difficult to stop it. Like, even if you run the SD set, there are switch-ins to it. Like, hell, Mega Venusaur can switch in on Talonflame. Mega Venusaur can switch in on Talonflame. Does it like it? No.
It's what, base 80 attack, right?
Um,
81.
81. Yeah, like, okay, priority's cool, Brave Bird's cool, but also base 81? Like,
it's not.
That ain't
It
the
doesn't
best.
do enough work. It really does
Yeah.
not. Is it? It's OU because a lot of teams simply just don't prepare for it, which is kind of dumb when you
I
think
mean,
about
it's OU because of usage. Like, let's be real about it. It's
Well,
OU because people like using it.
Yeah. It's just. It's not worth the amount of money he sunk into it. I feel like right here, it would have been the perfect opportunity to pick something like another bulky water, like Gastrodon. No, not Gastrodon. He got Gastrodon got picked the round before. Like a Slowking. Slowking. He could have picked Slowking, and that would have been a decent pick.
Could pick Slow King, Slow Bro, like... I mean, there are a lot of things. He could have gone ahead and gone straight for hazard removal because he does have Mega Beedrill.
I mean, he has
And
Latios, but
you don't-
again, he runs.
Why? Yeah, who wants to bring Defog Latios every week? Like,
Flygon.
Defog
no,
Flygon.
no, we'll get to Flygon.
Oh god! Oh god!
Get to Flygon, how bad it is. Flygon's bad, I'll skip it. It's just bad.
No, I mean, it gets U-turn, it has recovery options, it has
That-
access to defog.
No, it's bad.
It's usable.
It's U-turnable.
God damn it.
That's-
Talonflame.
Jolteon's good at what it does.
Jolteon's
It's
good.
very
No,
for 8
it's
points.
it's good, and paired with Mega Beedrill, I can respect that. I actually like that. That was a good pick.
See, I would rather have slow turn into Beedrill.
Slow turn. So you would have liked something like Electros.
Right, so that
Yeah.
Electric could take the damage, then bring in Mega
Then,
Beedrill.
yep.
Okay, I can see that. I like that.
Because Jolteon doesn't want to take the hit, and neither does Beedrill.
That's fair. That's fair.
especially off a ground attack. Neither one of them wants to take an EQ.
That's why you have Flygon.
Yeah, and then you're like, all right, now I just have to U-turn out into something else. Because Flygon is the quad weak thing like Gliscor, except it doesn't have the bulk to take the HP ice. It just dies. It doesn't have any good setup options.
Yacht
It's
Berry every week.
Yeah, it's either Scarf so you can U-turn out, or Yachi Berry, or Leftovers, and it's your crappy defogger.
Scarf defog, boys.
Yeah, no, totally. I like Granbull. Granbull's a very good fairy in the format.
Yes.
It's deceptively bulky for being low tier / cheap.
Yep.
It's got good versatility. You can either go offensive or defensive. It does lack like the immediate recovery, but you know, whatever.
I mean, it gets a lot of good coverage moves for being a fairy, because fairy ground coverage is really good, and it gets earthquake with its play rough.
Yes.
That's the blessing of the normal to fairy transition.
And
it got the coverage moves of a normal type, and then the upgrade to fairy.
Right, and then it has close combat and crunch, which are 2 good coverage moves together also. So like if you run an assault vest offensive version, it can be really, really good. Plus it's base 120 and has guts too, as well as obviously intimidate if you want to run it more bulky.
It also has quick feet, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it gets quick feet. It gets quick feet over guts. It has intimidate, quick feet, and rattled. Whatever the fuck rattled is.
Sorry, I thought I had guts.
Rattled is
raised Pokemon speed by 1 stage. Yeah. So if you get hit by something spooky, it runs fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you switch it in on that Mega Heracross.
There you go, boys.
Yeah.
I mean, it resists it, so...
That's what I'm saying. And then you, like, I don't know.
Yo,
maybe
that would actually be amazing. It's the... Oh, there it is. Designated Heracross counter.
I wonder if it gets... Like, it'd be cool if it got the rattle boost for every hit of Skill Link.
No, it does. It will. It'll put it at +5 speed.
Weak armor does that every time you get hit by something.
There you go, dude. So. That's your sweeper right there.
All right, hold on. Let's see. But it'd have to run hidden power flying because it doesn't get aerial ace.
I mean, play rough is stab.
Yeah, play rough is stab, super effective.
Yeah, but Heracross is fat.
Yeah, it is.
You just run like banded. You're switching a banded
banded rattled gravel.
Yeah.
That's actually horrifying.
Do it. I just made your team good.
Alright, let's talk about the remaining ones so we can keep moving.
Do we have to?
Yes,
we
do. Alright, Sharpedo. Sharpedo is...
Go away, Sharpedo. You're there for priority.
Sharpedo can be physical, Sharpedo can be special, gets access to fast Destiny Bond. It's not terrible, is it?
It's not terrible, but...
But like we were talking about with Sneasel, it gets popped by Mach Punch, and Mach Punch isn't exactly the most uncommon thing, and it's just frail as all hell.
And yeah, even the non-stab super effective priorities are still gonna hurt it.
Like it gets hurt a lot by resisted hits, and that's just...
Again, Sharpedo is not bad. It is bad on this team at this point in the draft.
Yes.
But that's the way to look at that.
Cradilly.
He
needed rocks.
He needed rocks in some kind of core.
It's a water immunity. It has instant recovery with it gets recover. It's got.
Does it have the stats to be the wall it needs to be though?
No, because it's part rock, and rock.
Rock is a terrible defensive typing.
I mean,
and then,
hold on. It's got
stats.
It's 86, 97, 107 defenses. So it's not
bad.
It's not terrible.
But it's gonna be stagnant, I guess,
Yes.
unless you're trying to run Toxic Stall. And again, like those aren't bad defensive stats, but when you got people running into Mega Scizor, you know, it's like. I don't know that it hangs. I don't like the idea of low tier wall core. I think that's a mistake.
Yeah, I think if anything, it's better just to get a really good core early on, and then just pick and choose wall breakers from the low tiers. And that's the way I build, and it works for me. It can also be offensive. It gets Swords Dance. It gets Rock Polish.
All right. Sure it does.
What's his base speed like? 43.
43. So Max Jolly. Oh, hold on. We gotta make this level 50. Hold on. Give me a sec, boys. Let's see.
It's not gonna be good enough.
Max Jolly. Max Jolly hits 104 speed. We're going fast, boys. NASCAR Cradle.
No, we're not. This isn't Granville. All right, calm down. Like, we've already broken like people's minds with one stupid set. We're not doing.
It gets 2 different forms of recovery. It gets synthesis and recover.
It also gets
And
pain split.
ingrained for the passive, right?
Yes.
Is it ingrained?
Yeah, and Giga Drain, and it also gets Mirror Coat, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, if he suddenly decides that he wants to play a stall team, like, all right, good job. You have one thing that can do it.
Hold on. If we look at this, look at this. So Latios plus Granbull plus Cradley plus Torco stall plus bulky Keldeo. There, it wins.
No, it doesn't work.
And then throw on a Mega Beedrill because late game sweeps.
Yeah, late game sweeps.
Bulky Sharpedo.
Bulky Sharpedo. Okay, how do we fix this? Drop talent.
Regigigas, because if anyone ever lets you do anything with Regigigas, they're the worst coach in the draft format. It is specifically the most easily counterable thing like ever.
If anything, I would drop Talonflame. I would drop Regigigas. I'd probably drop Torkoal.
I mean, he needs Spinner because he's got like Talonflame and Beedrill.
Well,
but
if he needs to.
At that point, yes, he should drop it and use Latios, which is unfortunate.
He needs to drop a lot of things because Mega Beedrill, that's okay. If he can trade Jolteon for something that gets slow Volt Switch, he should. That's something he needs to try and invest in and try to investigate.
That's the other interesting thing is like we were talking about this being a glass cannon team and like he doesn't have any fat mons, but he's also just incredibly thin because he's the only person that went to the draft limit. So
yeah,
he's just got a lot of really cheap stuff that he tried to patch holes with at the end.
Well, that's the thing that kind of confused me though, because he still has 4 over.
Because, well, I mean, after Talonflame, he just immediately dropped down to single-digit values.
Oh, right, but like he could have used that for somewhere else to potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it was starting to get to the later rounds, so not all the stuff was left that you potentially would want to draft. But
I think that's how you fix the team. I think you take Flygon down, and you trade all of that in for bulk.
I like Crawdaddy.
Fine.
Fine. I want him to drop Talonflame just because I don't like the fact that he's got something that's so heavily reliant on hazard removal. I don't want him to have something else that's so heavily reliant on hazard removal, but I agree. Granbull's good. Needs just more hazard control, more bulk, and get rid of Talonflame. And I think he can salvage this. He can definitely salvage this, but it's gonna take some time and effort.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna move on to Juan of the Amityville Haunters. I had a hand in this, and
props to you for owning up to it. Adam, why is this draft bad? No.
I think it's not amazing, but it's definitely not bad. I think it's one of the better ones, just because it's got a lot of offensive options. It's got defensive options, and it's just a lot of stuff that people kind of overlooked.
I will say the most obvious and glaring thing is that he's totally reliant on keeping Raikou around to prevent bird spam.
Yeah.
Jumping far ahead to the how do we fix it, that's the first thing.
Yeah, bird spam's a problem.
Yeah.
I don't want to reveal like the inner workings of how to fight bird spam, but bird spam's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, just specifically for that lineup, and objectively, not talking about how the coaches are going to play them or anything, because we don't know that, but just like based off typing, literally Raikou's it. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And outside of that, you have Tornadus and Skuntank to take neutral hits. Like everything else doesn't want it.
Gastro.
It's
Gastro
a little...
doesn't want to take bird spam.
Gastro's not exactly the bulkiest on the defensive side. It's like base 68, if I remember correctly.
He's just gonna use counter. It's fine.
Yeah, no. that's one thing that is worth. Gastrodon is a great Pokemon and a great value.
Especially 8 points.
Yeah. A+ bulky water type.
Let's see. I mean, it's
also
it can take like 2. But if
it can get off a counter, it's fine.
If it's like Banded Staraptor, That's just oof.
I mean, not a lot of things can take the Star.
I don't think no one drafted Staraptor, right?
I mean, that's just like a.
All right, yeah.
It's just a go-to spooky bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that's a heartbreaker because Raptor is so good.
Yeah.
But like one thing we were talking about like halfway through this was hazard control was going to be an issue. Kind of patched that up a little bit, grabbing Skuntank and Claydol back to back, which is a little redundant, but not the worst. You know.
We were gonna try and get Xatu over Claydol, but we put Claydol down, and then he was like, "Wait, no, I wanna change it," and they were like, "No, fuck you."
Hey, man.
The tweet already went out, and that's just like, "No, damn you, Twitter."
No takebacks.
Twitter is forever.
Yeah.
I don't like Claydol. That's probably my one thing that I don't overly care for on his team. The remainder of it I like. I would have liked to have seen maybe what like a Sigilif point-wise is in here, and maybe you could have worked that in with the 3 that he had left and the 4.
Chestnut get Drain Punch now?
It does.
That thing?
It does.
Alright. Yeah, I'm cool with it. He's got... I mean, I would have liked to have seen some kind of traditional core, just because... I mean, like, we always harp on cores, and, you know... Like,
cores are important.
But yeah, like, there's a reason you harp on them, because they're tried and tested and good, and, you know...
When you look at past winners, they have good cores, and then just offensive options.
Yeah, and this one doesn't really have, like, a standout super type synergy. He's got a lot of good things, though, and, like, he's got things to switch in and take hits and recover and deal damage. So, yeah, I mean, it's not a bad team at all.
I mean, he's got really good Volt Turn with those first 2 also, which is something to be said. Because they're both bulky enough to take hits, unlike the other Volt Turn that we were looking at.
Yeah.
Yep.
So...
that and Tornadus gets Regenerator, can be physical or special.
Right.
Raikou gets really good coverage options, and then every week he should run it shiny just to throw people off to whether or not he's running Aura Sphere or not.
Or E-Speed, you know.
Yeah.
The E-Speed tech.
Medicham, I feel like, is really overlooked in this kind of format because it's fast enough to break cores really, really easily, and it's really, really powerful. It gets access to unstab priority, which is better than no priority.
I question its value at 17, but I don't think it's bad. I'm just kind of like, it's a little pricey.
Yeah.
For what I would like. But...
Yeah.
But like for that 3 million or the 3 mil that he had left, could he have gotten like something like Mega Gallade?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he could have upgraded to that because the cap is at 20.
Right.
I mean, you lose out. The thing is, in that case, you lose out on the Fake Out and Bullet Punch. It doesn't get Mach Punch, right?
It does not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you trade Bullet Punch for Shadow Sneak, which is inferior priority, and you lose Fake Out. But you get a lot more power and a lot more base speed.
Yeah.
Well, not more power, actually. You lose a little bit of power because of huge power and stuff, but you still have a lot of power to work with.
Yeah.
Did anyone draft Mega Lopunny?
Yeah. Which team did that?
Maybe not.
I think no one did.
Oh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one drafted Megalop.
Everyone I talked to was sure that was gonna go. So that's
Megalop was really, really good last season.
It's very good.
I'm just throwing it out there, that's all.
Yeah, no, but I kind of agree with Adam. Like, if I was gonna go for that, I think I would have spent the 3 to upgrade to Gallade.
So, basically just get stuff for bird spam.
Yeah.
Drop Claydol. Use
Rock.
Get something else.
Get a Rock or a Steel.
Yeah, but dropping Claydol means that defog Skuntank every week.
That's true.
Defog Skuntank, but Pursuit Trap Skuntank.
And Sucker Punch.
Yeah, but Skuntank isn't bulky enough for that.
Aftermath, residual damage. Skuntank got value.
Duh.
Don't sleep on Skuntank.
We'll see how well it does.
Hashtag don't sleep on Skuntank. Hashtag.
Okay. So we're gonna move on to
Everyone tweet Ethan. Hashtag don't sleep on Skuntank.
No.
Yes, do it.
All right, we got Jordan. I don't even know how to say that, and the Southampton Sneasel. What?
The disrespect.
I'm just going.
Immediate, like, Mega Scizor, Heatran, Sylveon, like, Mega Scizor, Heatran, like, he follows my rule of quad weakness, which is if it's OU good, it can be quad weak. Doesn't matter.
The only exception to that rule is Gastrodon.
No, because Gastrodon is OU good. It's just not in OU.
Right?
Gastrodon's OU good.
God damn it.
Alright, no further questions.
Heatran Sylveon is a good...
Adam, hashtag Gastrodon is OU good.
Heatran Sylveon, great core. Mega Scizor is spooky as all hell. It's a defog option. You can run bulky defog. 3 attacks roost, SD. Mega Scizor is worth the 20 points, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it might be in my top 5 megas in the format.
It definitely is mine. I think it's 5th for me in top 5.
Yeah.
But it is top 5.
It's just very good. Bullet Punch is so useful in this format, like for fairies, and as just another form of priority.
And it's stab. Yes.
And off of a base 140 attack or something like that.
One.
Because I think hold on.
Yeah, it's like higher than that.
It's 150.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's Technician as well. So
Right,
Technician plus stab, it's just gross.
Recovery, it's got enough bulk to be specially defensive, like you said.
It's got ridiculous bulk. It's 140, 100 on defense and special defense, and then 70 HP, which kind of lets it down a little bit, but...
I mean, 70 HP is definitely usable.
Yeah, with 140, 100,
that's
usable.
I mean, dude, that's your slow U-turn right there.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's your slow U-turn, which is also stab.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay. It's gonna tank your hit, like switch out, get you initiative, then come back in later and either clean up with priority or scare you out and recover off what happened before.
Yep.
It's great. It's fantastic.
So there's one thing that I really love about his draft, and that is the Spiky Turd Dragon. Everyone can tweet Chris Spiky Turd Dragon, hashtag Spiky Turd Dragon.
And there's gonna be so many PPL tweets, oh my lord.
I love Druddigan. It is such a good value for 8 points in a dragon. People don't realize that it has Sucker Punch, has Sheer Force, has Mold Breaker, has Rough Skin. I mean, it can do pretty much anything that you want it to do. It gets rocks. I mean, it's
Glare.
It's yeah, Glare. Dragon Tail to glare past people. Like
when you start doing Druddigon calcs, it actually gets really scary.
It does. It does.
Like no one does Druddigon calcs
until you actually have to face
Druddigon tier. Yeah, but like when people go up against Jordanez, they're gonna like throw that in the day before and go, oh crap.
I've made a horrible mistake.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Kelly's team, which we'll get to here in a second. Clefable. One thing you think would maybe be a good switch in to Druddigan, a Sheer Force, Life Orb, Adamant, Iron Head is like does a minimum of like 72% or something like that.
Can we talk about Gunk Shot? It gets Gunk Shot as well.
Oh yeah, that's one shot, I believe.
Yeah, Gunk Shot, Okos.
Yeah, I mean that's just good.
Yeah.
It's a good value dragon. It's kind of like Druddigon's kind of the reason I was so down on Haxorus early on, is because like for 2 points less you get something that has more versatility. Has more versatility and also still hits like a truck.
Right.
Like
I think it's base 120 also. Is that correct for attack?
Let me look it up.
I don't know.
I think that's right.
Hold on, I got it. 120 attack. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The other
That's
thing that
good.
Go ahead.
No.
I was just gonna say the other thing that I like is I like Floatzel. I like Floatzel at 4.
I don't like Floatzel at 4 when you get Kabutops at 6.
Yeah, Kabutops is kind of just a better Floatzel. Floatzel has the benefit of having Water Bell, which means you don't have to worry about Will-O-Wisp
or stuff like that. But I mean, for speed options, like Floatzel is a little bit faster and it's mono type, but both of them you're just gonna kind of want to hit shit with Aqua Jet, and Kabutops is gonna hit it harder. And you also get the Stab Stone, which is good. It's bad for the defense, but whatever.
But you get Ice Punch with Floatzel. You get other options like Switcheroo, things like that you can kind of play around with. That could be very useful for it. Although
Floatzel could end up being tricky and it could, like, there might be a week where it's like, gotcha! But I'm just, again, and especially both of, like, the fact that he got them back to back, it's just, it's Sneasel Ambipom all over again. I'm like, why? Like,
also, Druddigon got picked before Haxorus, so he didn't even have the option to pick up Druddigon, so he may have got sniped. We don't know. He may have got sniped.
I mean, just don't get a dragon. If you can't get Druddigon, why bother?
It's true.
Alright,
yeah, no, I'm just kind of like, I like Swallow for 4 points. I'm fine with that. It's not Staraptor. It's, you know, it's not Talonflame, but it's fast. It's gonna hit hard on normal. It's gonna hit hard on Brave Bird.
But there's one thing that I really want to talk about. It's the fact that his has removal options are Kabutops and Mega Scizor. Right. And while that's okay, you don't want to have to be forced into that.
You don't want to have to run Defog on Mega Scizor, but it is a better option on Mega Scizor than on regular Scizor. I'll say that much.
Yeah, like, but it's... I think that's kind of the main flaw with his team. Like, I want him to drop Floatzel. Like, Swallow is okay, but...
I think you forget that Swallow gets Defog, alright?
Yeah.
Oh, it does. It does, doesn't it?
Again, another bad option.
Defog, Boom Burst, Swallow. Easiest counter of my life. Exactly. Counter to what? I don't know. It's the best counter ever.
He didn't have a lot of options, but I would have liked to have seen him kind of, I don't know, like, fill out the core a little bit better. Like, Floatzel and Kabutops could have been combined into Tentacruel.
Yes.
Would have gave him a spinner. That would have been really good.
Did Tentacruel
That would have been really good, actually.
When did Tentacruel get picked?
It didn't.
It didn't get picked.
It didn't get picked.
Jesus.
Like, yeah, and he would have had 1 extra point. Like, he could very easily have done that. And
yep.
It also would have given him a poison type with some offense. It doesn't give him recovery, and he loses a little bit of that priority. But again, you have Mega Scizor, so it's like, all right. And I guess Quick Attack Swallow.
Yeah, I mean, he has Weavile. We've kind of just glossed through the fact that he has Weavile plus Druddigon. Like, if he had
attack Sylveon, you know,
Quick Attack Sylveon, new meta.
Big threat.
It's viable. It works.
If he had picked Tentacruel, I think this would be the best draft, in my opinion. I think this would be.
I wouldn't go that far, but it would be up there. It would be debatable for sure.
Yes. Okay. Jordy, good job. Basically, what we're saying.
Miltank is there. That's fine.
I don't mind Miltank.
Good job, Miltank.
All right, we're gonna move on to the fattest team in the draft with Kelly and the Maryland Torterrapins, and looking at this just gives me diabetes. Mew first round pick. I like Mew. I think it's overhyped a little bit.
Use a trap. It's a waste of points.
I don't know. I don't know if I would go that far. I don't think
on paper, it is inarguably the greatest potential Mon in this format.
However, when you get actually into the team, and when you get into the team building, it's kind of forced to run like a certain set every single week.
Yeah, it just ends up being the paper you stick in the hole in the wall, like before you move out to get your safety deposit back. Like, it just ends up being whatever you failed to draft throughout the draft every week, which for most people ends up being Defog. Yep. And sometimes you can get away running something else. Most of the time you don't. And the reason that makes that really bad is because everybody, like, in this league, it's high point value at 15 points. It's the max it's going to be. And you get it early. Like, while Kelly was getting that, you know, he passed up on Mega Sableye, Mega Gardevoir, Manaphy, Excadrill, Scizor, and Togekiss.
Well, hold on, but let's look at this though. If you look at the rest of his team, Melodic, Kuja, Clefable, Rachi, Sandslash, Crobat, Magneton, Brizion, he's got offensive options. He's got Hazard Control in Sandslash and Crobat. He's got special offense with like Magneton, Rachi, Clefable. The thing is that with this team, I think that Mew is actually going to excel. it's not obvious what the Mew's gonna run, and I think that's going to benefit him immensely. Like,
it's possible, but I still think most people are gonna run into the option where it's too daunting. And like I said, even though it can run everything, it only does it moderately well. It only does it base 100, not stab well.
well, that's the thing though. I feel like Kelly can use it as a good offensive option paired like Mew plus Virizion. That's a decent offensive core. Mew plus Magneton, decent special core. With this team, I think that if he can make it work, he can make it work well. But again, non-stab stuff is a little shaky. It's shaky at best. I think it's good for this team. I don't think Mew's good in general.
I mean, basically, almost the best way to run Mew is almost like it has multiple hidden powers, just a little bit stronger, to try and fill the gaps that you potentially couldn't hit. Like,
yeah, it's like, would you do that? Like, would you draft a hidden power Mon for 15 points?
It's in the first round. I mean, it's hard to justify a hidden power Mon, 15 points, first round. Plus, you really aren't going to grab other psychics that can do more dangerous stuff, like regular Alakazam, which is a great...
Yeah,
no,
like,
you're not
even him picking up Jirachi becomes risky, like, because you don't want to run Mew and Jirachi the same week most of the time.
Yeah, that Mega Beedrill's gonna get him.
It's got to get someone. Yeah, so I think Mew's a trap. I think there's better first round options. But then, like, Milotic, Goodra, Clefable was like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
I don't care what you did the first round.
Yep.
Milotic might be... It's definitely my favorite bulky water, probably. And it's one of the best. It's stupid good.
Yeah.
Goodra is surprisingly offensive.
Yes.
More so than
a lot of people think. It was more offensive than I thought. Like, I initially just hated this draft just because I thought it was just Diabetes plus possible offensive Jirachi, Crobat, Magneton, and Virizion.
He's got some things to hit there. Goodra not only gets, like, insane coverage options, like the ability to hit pretty much anything it needs to hit, but it's got just enough base stats to where it can really punish bad switch ends and still does good chip damage to anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got, what, I think 100 attack, 110 special attack, something like that.
Yes,
yeah,
it does.
It's up there.
And then it just has crazy movesets. You know, it's got I think it has the fire move, has the poison move, has a grass move, has a water move. It has pretty much everything that you need it to have.
And technically a grass immunity, if you're afraid of that.
Yep. Yeah, like, I mean, he has Virizion to take on, like, a Spore if he needed to, but if he didn't want to bring Virizion against somebody who has Spore Sleep Powder, he can run Sap Zipper Goodra and not worry about it.
Yeah.
So.
He can run the Gooey and it'll make up for the fact that his team isn't the fastest thing in the world. Like,
yes, that's definitely an option.
Clefable, do we need to cover Clefable? Like, it's just very good.
Clefable is just good. Moving on.
Yeah.
Clefable's arguably the best non-Mega Fairy.
Yes.
I think 15 points for Jirachi's too expensive.
I agree.
But
rip the days where Jirachi was in UU.
Yeah, I mean, Steel Nerf, dude. Like, that alone just drops it down.
Yeah, being weak to knockoff is just...
Yeah.
Bad news bears.
And it just, no reliable instant recovery hurts it. And again, it's base 100, which is good for versatility. And that is definitely a thing Kelly kind of needed at this point, was things that could go both ways, But it's pretty balanced. Like, almost everything Kelly has can do that. Is either bulky or offensive or mixture of both. So Jirachi kind of fits in. I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
Yeah. Sandslash is a okay option for spinning.
It's been...
Sandslash is very popular amongst PPL people in the PPL and like in other leagues that they do. I don't know if it's just like because a lot of PPL people and D2 people tend to be low tier,
Players.
vets and stuff like that. Yeah, but like
Sandslash
you
Sandslash isn't even that good in NU. I was an NU player, and it's
that's
just
what I would have said. But like Shady will fight you. Like I'm fine.
In fairness, I think it has 100 attack, 110 defense, something like that.
It's not. Yeah, it's got options, but like
Sandslash is base 100 attack, base 110 defense, base 65 speed. So
I was gonna go with 70.
oh yeah, it's not bad. It's just it's a ground type, but this is the
it's
kind
a ground
of
type. It's a spinner. It's a wall that doesn't have recovery.
Yeah.
It's like a swords dancer that isn't fast enough to kill most things. Does it get like sucker punch?
Nope.
All right. Yeah. No priority.
The best it's gonna do is get Sand Rush if he runs manual sand somewhere on his team.
But guys,
Yeah, like Sandstorm Jirachi or something. Is
but
that a
guys,
thing?
it gets Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace is viable.
It does, and it's got the poison sting.
Yes, it
for,
does.
yeah, fairy coverage.
Actually, if you think about it, Sandslash isn't terrible, but there are better
It's not
things.
terrible, and for 4 points,
We're not gonna fault him for it. It also gets
Yeah.
access to Super Fang, so it can, if you predict a wall switch in or like something to try and stop you from spinning
Yeah,
or
like-
whatever, it has options in knockoff.
it's gonna
And
come in and it's gonna like dunk on stuff like Registeel, like
yes,
not even just because of typing advantage, but again, just like
Super Fang
Fang
plus
it down.
Earthquake.
It doesn't have any recovery. Yeah, and you can't T-wave it.
Yeah, can't T-wave you. You can't really do anything.
I mean, the worst that's gonna happen is you're gonna get Toxic, which means that you just stay in for 2 turns, switch out, easy peasy, done.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, you could even I'd probably bring a Sandslash in on Empoleon and test my odds.
I think it only has like base 60 special D though.
It's base
Well, you throw an
55.
assault vest.
Oh,
on
base
it.
55.
Throw
yeah.
an assault vest on it. There we go. There's the
Yes.
blame truth.
Yeah,
Fix all.
yeah. Throw an assault vest
Assault
on it.
Vest, Rapid
Okay.
Spin, EQ, knockoff, Super Fang. Done.
Yep, that works.
Let's move on to Crobat.
Crobat,
Crobat at 10 points. Super good.
Yeah.
defog option, can be defensive, can be offensive, can be special.
Recovery.
Yep, it's good.
Nasty
Super
Bat.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nasty Bat
He's good. Good job.
is good.
Magneton, Volt Switch. It's
Quad weak, but kind of.
Well,
maybe
you know, it's
good.
it's quad weak on a team that has no other real ground weaknesses. Like, you've got Jirachi, but you have an immunity in Crobat. You've got a bunch of things that don't care. Looking
Yeah.
at Melodic, Goodra, Clefable, Virizion even.
Yeah, it's not the worst. It's not the worst thing.
It
And,
gives
you know,
it gives
you
him a
get-
Volt Switch option. It gives him
trapping, pseudo trapping at least for the other steals.
Right.
it's not gonna like scare out things like Registeel. It's gonna do decent damage, but I think it was a pretty good option just to give him some sort of momentum, because more often than not it's gonna be Scarf.
I think 10 points is okay, and I think on the team it's okay. It's not. It doesn't blow anybody away, but it's okay.
Virizion. Virizion is good. I don't care what you guys think. Virizion is good.
Well, good, because I disagree.
What? You
Okay.
kidding me? It's base 108. It's got a good typing on a team that doesn't really care about bird spam.
Quad week, and it's not OU good.
It's
Get it out.
really, really, really good. Base 108 speed. It can be physical, can be special. It's got access to Swords Dance, Calm Mind, Close Combat. Just really, really good moves that can really benefit it in trying to fill whatever role it wants to fill. It gets access to screens.
It's not gonna run most roles. Like, you're not gonna run it defensively because grass is like a terrible defensive typing along with fighting. Like, the only reason most grass types in here get to work as defensive is because they're either mono grass and they have insane bulk, or they're like grass and poison, which gives it a much better defensive typing. And besides special defense, like, it's physically not going to take anything. It's not going to take ice punches. It's not going to take any flying moves.
It's gonna
It's not
take
gonna
ice
take fire
punches.
moves.
It's got base 91 72, 129 bulk. That's not terrible. It's going to take moves fairly well. Is it going to take a Brave Bird? It's not going to take a Brave Bird.
It's not going to take an Aerial Ace.
He's going to take an Aerial Ace.
It's not going to take a Pluck.
It's going to take... you don't know why it's going to take... you don't know why it's going to take a Brave Bird?
Because you're going to run a Berry on it.
No, because it's got its hopes and dreams.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Virizion is like the reality show contestant that when it's about to get kicked off and they're like, why do you deserve to be here? Its answer is, because I believe in myself. Not because it's a good chef or anything, just because it believes in itself. And that's stupid. You're a bad chef and you're a bad person.
I would say typing-wise, I think it fits really well on the team.
Yes, Virizion is good. Virizion is good on this team.
Alrighty.
It's bad. It's bad.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to hang up. That's it. That's it. We're no more analysis. Alright, okay. Kelly did...
You asked me to be here. I had no part of this.
Alright, Kelly...
No, Kelly's got... It's a good team. It's a very deceptively balanced team.
Yes, it is. I honestly, like, again, it's one of those teams that didn't draft a Mega and has actually benefited from not having a Mega. Like, it's not the fastest, but you got base 100s, Mew, Raji, and you got fast things like Crobat and Virizion. You got special options, physical options. It's just a really, really good team. I think it's like the quiet achiever that people are just gonna sleep on. I think it's gonna have trouble when you have a really good stall-breaking Mega, or something that you can just bring in and just set up on stuff, but he's gonna have options to get rid of stuff like that.
The thing is, I don't think any of his bulk is really set up fodder.
Exactly, that's the thing though. Everything has enough coverage to make it a threat, and that's kind of what he's gonna do. I think that he's gonna benefit greatly from that. Would I like to see a little bit more options for like hazards and stuff? Sure, but he doesn't really need it. He's gonna get chip damage by bringing in a wall chewing a hit, the wall getting whatever hit off on a predicted switch or a predicted non-switch. He's gonna benefit just from playing well, which is, I feel like that's gonna benefit him greatly.
Yep.
Good job, Kelly. Going on to Travesty and the North Melbourne Kangaskhans. I like this team. It's not...
I like it, and I don't think I should like it.
I think that it needs a little bit more... I don't know. It's just a really odd squad. Like, Mega Sableye is
like, it's not... again, like...
It's not like... You don't like, instantly look at it like, this is terrible, or, this is good. Like,
Like, he's got Fire, Water, Grass, but it's bad.
Darn, like, Lion Turn, Go-Goat.
Darmanitan for 13 points is absurd.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Go back to the store, take that shit, put a gift receipt, something. Go-Goat for 4, I'm like, well, it gets recovery. That's a thing.
It gets recovery, and it's got...
But it's bad.
Usable bulk?
Go-Goat is grass normal.
Is it?
Yeah,
no. It's just grass. It's just grass.
Yeah, I always think that it is.
Oh,
but it's
I
bad.
mean, if it's
grass
got
bad.
It's
grass bad
got base 123 HP, base 62 defense, base 81 SPDEF. It's got access to like bulk up, so you can run an offensive if you really want to. Base 68 speed is faster than other stuff. Milk Drink is good. Gets access to Leech Seed.
Bulk up.
Yep. Toxic is nice.
He's not gonna be walling people with Go-Goat.
No, he's not.
He's gonna get reliable chip damage with Go-Goat, and I feel like that's gonna benefit him greatly. Like the combination of like Horn Leech plus Milk Drink plus Leech Seed, that's gonna do enough, and you can just run Earthquake.
I don't think Go-Goat's gonna be hitting the field, guys. Like, I don't think it should be hitting the field.
It gets Aerial Ace, all right.
It does get Aerial Ace. There's the mark of quality. Aerial Ace. If it gets Aerial Ace, it's good in that league format.
You know what gets Aerial Ace? Mega Aggron.
You know what also gets Aerial Ace? Freaking Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn Aerial Ace.
There it is. Ferrothorn is now the best steel type.
I like some of the stuff on this. I love Togekiss. I think it's great. 14 points, a little pricey. Yes. But I think it's good. Kyurem, interesting. It's fast. It's got good stabs. It's hard. Okay.
You can, and it's bulky too. A Subroost can basically just wall teams if you don't have an answer for it.
Yeah. Nidoqueen, all right, you just picked 3 Ice Weak things in a row. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. Can we calm down? No, it's all right. I'll get an Ice Resist. Darmanitan, that doesn't count.
Kyurem's not weak to ice. It's Ice Dragon, so it takes it normally.
Does Ice resist ice?
The only thing that ice resists is ice.
Nice.
Weird.
Okay.
Rock doesn't resist rock. How stupid.
It is stupid.
All right. So that makes Kyurem a little bit better. So I'll give it 10 points. Nidoqueen, fine with that. Darmanitan for 13, like I said, way too expensive. Cobalion, it's all right at 8.
I think Cobalion is good for this team. It's bulky, is a pretty good typing. Like it doesn't make his team ridiculously weak to bird spam. It gets access to Volt
I think
Switch.
that's actually a really interesting Fairy Dragon Steel Core with the dual typings it has.
Yes.
It's flying dragon fighting, like.
So I'll say one thing that I don't like about his team. I look at it and I go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ground weaknesses.
Oof.
1 immunity and 1 resist in Go-Goat, which obviously isn't really going to do anything.
Yeah.
Yo, it's the Togekiss show. It never roost, ever.
Yeah, never roost.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
I don't.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
I think Kadabra and Toxicroak, while they're okay in their own
I like
right,
Toxicroak. I like Toxicroak, especially for 9. I think that's good.
I don't. But is it good for this team though? That's what I'm a little hesitant about trying to.
I mean, he already has fighting and poison.
Exactly. So I don't think Toxicroak is
That's
actually
fair.
that amazing on this team. I would like to see.
It does
another
give him some priority besides,
Well, that's the thing, though.
like, Event Togekiss.
Extreme speed Togekiss.
Yeah, Extreme Speed Togekiss.
and fake out Sableye.
Yeah, Sucker Punch, Fake Out, Sableye, and Shadow Sneak.
Yeah. Offensive
Yeah.
Sableye, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Power Up Punch. Lego.
Like,
He
I
needs
mean,
more hazard control. He needs more priority, and I think he's just gonna find his team a little bit lacking. Like
I think I like this team because it's a bunch of stuff I want to do well, but I really want it to do well on different teams that actually have synergy.
yes, okay, there we go. There's the sum up. It's not bad. It's just there are things that would make it better. Like
Kadabra's a waste of 4 points. Like,
yes,
you're just gonna get knocked off or pursuit trapped.
and
like,
and then that's it. That's the end of Kadabra because Kadabra's just
yeah.
piss.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of points bleed here.
Yeah, like the thing is that we can't really fault him for getting Darn because what good fire types are there? Entei was gone, Arcanine gone, Rotom Heat, that was gone.
It was gone. Yeah.
They're not.
I mean, there were others, but it would have messed up the rest of his draft. Like, he could have gone Emboar and had a lot of power, but you know.
Oh, and then he
obviously-
would suffer from the fact of being super duper slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that would have messed with Cobalion and Toxicroak and stuff like that. But yeah, there's just not a lot of synergy here. I think he just needs to drop some things and condense them down into a smaller, more compact unit.
I know both of you are believers in quality over quantity, and I feel like he just wanted to get 10 Mons just because it would give him a little bit of variety, which is, I feel like, something that actually reoccurred throughout the draft. But
Yeah,
it's-
I don't agree with that. I'm a fan of the low man. Like, I would go a 9-man team
Yep.
over anything else. Like,
Yep. But it's not terrible. I feel like he's just gonna have issues going into various matches.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, he's got a lot of things to throw at people to throw them off. I'll give him that.
Yes.
Like, but yeah.
I don't know. We're gonna have to see how he plays, basically.
Yeah.
Carter and the Chicago Cubchoos. You guys,
The
basically.
disclaimer. Yeah.
Yeah. This is Carter's team is the love child of Carter plus Chris plus Adam. And
Carter's team is the love child of having been sniped at least 8 times.
Yes.
There was only one Mon that was
Only one Mon on here was on our original list.
Which was
Roserade.
Roserade. Yep.
bruh.
Yeah.
Team Mega Guard is just excellent. Mega Guard is just, it gets access to Will-O-Wisp, Taunt, you can run it bulky.
Adam says it's the best Mega in the format.
I like Mega Guard War because it has just about -1 switch-ins.
-1. It has Heatran, and only one person can have Heatran, and even then you could run Focus Blast. Easy peasy.
More HP ground.
Yep.
It's really hard to switch into Mega Gardevoir. It also has a lot of support options like Taunt and Will-O-Wisp and Healing Wish and Regular Wish and Heal Bell and all that good stuff. It's
just good. It's worth the 20 points. And yeah. Scizor, good for U-turn, good for defog. Not good for defog. It's passable at defog. It's good for priority.
We wanted Excadrill, and it got sniped. So we were like, well,
fuck it.
Carter still wanted Fairy Steel Dragon. Like, that was the core we were always aiming for above everything else, pretty much. And
wait a minute. Wait a minute. He picked Garchomp over Druddigon?
I think Druddigon was sniped at that point.
Yeah, it was, because that was on our list of things to grab.
No. What? Oh, it was, wasn't it? No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. We ended up, that was a last-minute audible because of something.
We needed a ground type, and we're
yeah,
like, well,
okay, alright, fair enough.
We needed a ground type again because we had lost Excadrill, so we were like, I looked at it and I was like, Garchomp is sitting around, and
yeah,
I weaseled the points away from Carter to be stingy.
Yeah,
because I mean, I'll say Garchomp might not be a 15-point thing.
No.
But Gardevoir, Scizor, Garchomp, that's a very good Dragon Steel Fairy core.
Yes, it is.
Very offensive.
It's very offensive, and you can even run it bulky. So it's it's good. Rotom Heat, my mascot. Obviously, it's fantastic.
We wanted Arcanine because Arcanine is infinitely better.
Wow, I am so offended right now.
Well, I mean, facts offend people.
I mean, yeah, the truth, I guess. But, yeah.
No, Arcanine is better, but Rotom Heat isn't terrible. It gets access to Pain Split, which isn't reliable, but it's usable.
It's not Morning Sun, but it also gave us Volturn Momentum.
Exactly.
And it condensed down points and was a little bit cheaper.
Exactly.
So, because, Carter had been talking about wanting a fast electric and stuff like that. And it was like, well, we're going to need a fire type. Obviously, the 3 best fire types, Infernape, Victini, and Arcanine are all gone.
Entei as well.
So, it's not the best 3.
Actually, yeah. Infernape's better, yeah.
Might be top 5.
Roserade is good. It gets spikes,
Roserade
toxic
is the
spikes.
best offensive grass type in the format.
Yep.
I love Roserade. Anybody who I help, I will tell them get Roserade.
Yep, Roserade always good. And for 11 points, that's great. That's fine. Like I said, Garchomp probably a little expensive, but we needed the dragon, and the ground type was going to be nice.
Plus, we needed somebody else to do rocks.
Yes, because the rocks. What gets rocks? What on your team gets rocks outside of Aerodactyl? Does Scizor get rocks?
I don't think so.
No, so you needed a rocker, basically.
Yeah, basically. Well, like, Druddigon was going to do that too, but again, like...
you need a ground type.
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
Groudon is spooky. It's not
spooky.
It's not going to
slow,
sweep.
And we've got a very slow team at this point.
Priority is good, and adaptability is spooky, and you could run Swords Dance to actually just win games with enough whittling. So Groudon is good.
You don't even necessarily, like, you would be amazed at the calcs that a banded Aqua Jet will do. Like, it will just take lives. And, if you have Rotom Heat spamming T-Waves or something like that, you don't even necessarily need to go Aqua Jet. You can go other things. So,
Groudon is good. Hitmonchan is decent. Like, it's not...
We needed a spinner. We needed a spinner, and we got sniped for, like, 4 spinners.
Yep. it's
literally every time we were gonna pick a spinner, someone got it the round before us.
Nice.
Or like, You know, Carter talked a lot about Tentacruel, but we were just like, offensive power of Crawdaunt kind of outweighed it.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, Hitmonchan does get Drain Punch with Iron Fist, which isn't terrible. But
The thing is that Hitmonchan just gets shafted by Ghost type switching in.
yeah, it had, unfortunately, for the love of me, I don't understand why it doesn't get knockoff, but, you know, whatever.
But it also
Hitmonlee
has a ton of priority, and even though none of that priority really touches Ghost types, go back and look at these teams and see how many people drafted Ghost.
There's like 2.
Yep. Ghost is criminally underrated in this format.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
it's good. And one of the ghosts is actually on Carter's team.
Yep.
Yeah. Spiritomb and Aerodactyl are both severely underrated, I think. Aerodactyl's
Aerodactyl
fast.
has great coverage options, but mostly it was the fast thing. Carter was like, my team is so slow.
I mean,
we were like, well, we don't want to have to run rocks on Garchomp every week.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Garchomp plus Aerodactyl plus Hitmonchan, Crawdaunt priority, that's pretty good. Rotom Heat's
Yeah.
fast enough that you can run it as a reliable Scarfer. Scizor, again, has priority. Mega Gardevoir isn't slow. Base 100 isn't bad.
Yeah.
And again, Spiritomb gets Sucker Punch plus Shadow Sneak, and that's just good as well.
yep, and extra bulk and pain split is okay.
Yeah. It's good.
So, yeah.
This is a good team, and it has enough options with enough things doing things reliably that you don't even need a whole bunch of variety. You just
Yeah.
you bring
In a perfect world, Carter could find some way to like condense and trade up for a better spinner hazard control, because it is going to suck to have to go out of his way to bring Hitmonchan, or he's going to end up having to run Defog on Scizor, which is going to suck. That's how you make this team better,
yes,
is
definitely.
hazard control.
Okay, let's go on to flippin' Mono. I can't even say his name.
Monotui.
Monotui?
Monotui.
Okay. And the
Like
Tampa Bay...
Banjo-Kazooie.
Okay, that was a good game.
It was. Anyways.
Tampa Bay Luxrays. This kid will not shut up about Manaphy.
Manaphy's very good.
Manaphy...
Manaphy is very good. It might be a little bit overhyped because it's been popularized by a couple of people like Joey and Miguel. But Manaphy is still really good. In this format, base 100 Pixies are all good. Like, you will not go wrong picking Mew, Jirachi, Celebi, Manaphy, or Shaman. Even though Shaman's not base 100, it still counts.
And Victini.
And Victini. Yeah, you're not going to go wrong picking any of them.
Shaman's a base 100.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
I thought it was distributed different.
No, it's all, that's Shaman Sky. Is
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Okay, so hold on. Quick thing. Manaphy was actually his third choice for the first round pick. He wanted to get Victini and Mew, and he's 12th in the draft, and he wanted to get Victini or Mew.
Hey, dream big. We did with Carter. Like,
Clefable,
our list was ridiculous. We were never getting anything that was on. And yeah, like Adam was saying, Clefable went 4th round. Like,
yeah.
So you never know what can happen.
especially like in a new league, or in this case, a new division with people you don't intimately know. Like, draft theory goes out the window. Like, you can't predict what they're gonna do.
Dogs are dying back there.
That's crazy. That's not even mine. Mine are asleep. Like,
Those
great.
are mine. I'm gonna have to murder them. It's fine.
But yeah, like, Manaphy's good, and I don't fault him for dreaming big. I'm actually, it worked out in his benefit that Mew got sniped, because I think Manaphy's better.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Manaphy is easier to use, I should say. Like, that's a lot of my problem with Mew, is that it's difficult for most people to use. Most people will not use it well. Manaphy is much more plug and play, and you get more value out of it. So I'm fine with Manaphy.
Yep.
I kind of like the idea of things that can excel in various weathers, but that is not their predominant draw.
Yeah.
And
like
Manaphy, Excadrill both do that.
Yeah,
think that's
I know you really, really like that core. Excadrill is actually a really good spinner. It can be offensive, defensive, and Manaphy, again, it sells in rain, but it doesn't need to be. Primarily, you're going to run it specially oriented just because you've got things like Calm Mind and Tail Glow, but you can run it physically if you're crazy enough.
Yeah, if you want to, it's a base 100. It can literally do any combination of things to varying degrees. Like,
yeah,
it's fine.
Knock off U-turn, return, plus a water move.
Yeah. Yeah. And hydration's a good ability. It gives it, some recovery options and stuff that it normally wouldn't have if you want to run it as a bulkier wall. Excadrill doesn't have a recovery, so on this team I'm hoping he runs it offensive most of the time. But it's good.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a surprising HP stat. Like, isn't it like 130 HP or something really weird?
It's really. Hold on, let's look it up.
Yeah, he's got like a beer belly.
I think it's 130.
It's 110. 110 with 135 attack.
135 attack. That's what it's. Okay.
Yeah. It's bulky enough that you can run it reliably as an AV mon, which is really good. Pair that up with Mega Aerodactyl, then Tangrowth and Toga.
I really like Mega Air on paper. I think it's a little bit hard for people to use, and I think you need to baby it, like, with... You have to make sure it's not going to go down to priority.
Yeah.
Because a pace 140 or whatever speed doesn't matter to an Aqua Jet.
Yes.
Like,
or a Bullet Punch.
Yes.
Yeah. Or a Mach Punch.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Or a Vacuum Wave.
Oh, Vacuum Wave would actually be worse. Okay, but I think Mega Aerodactyl is actually going to do work just because it's fast, gets fast taunt, roost, and just does good damage.
Enough bulky switch ins that hopefully he can handhold it to victory.
Yes.
But we'll see. It's a very hit or miss, do or die Mega, I think. But
I think it's going to be checked a lot by any Scarf Electrics on really anybody's team. Because I think the problem with it, they're almost always going to scare him out. At all.
I mean, it still outspeeds some Scarf Electrics.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I think the only, like, maybe Rotom Heat is fast enough Scarfed. But, like, other than that, you have Goodra, or you have Raikou and Jolteon. Like, no one else really has the electrics. I guess Thundurus.
Yeah.
Like, I guess maybe Scarf Zapdos can take it.
Yeah. Mega Aerodactyl is the fact that a lot of people sleep on it.
Yeah, not every team has an electric, and not every team has a fast enough electric. Like...
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, Tangrowth is good. Togetic is bad.
Togetic is bad.
Togetic is bad.
Nasty pass.
Don't do Eviolite. Don't do it. Don't do it. Your bulk should not be dependent on an item. Your walls.
Togetic is bad.
Your wall's success should not be dependent on an item. It's bad. In a generation with buff knockoff, it's bad.
It's just not good.
Hariyama, if used right, is amazing. Hariyama, if used poorly, does like sheer force body slams.
Yes. It has a lot of surprising options that benefit people switching in and out on it. It's got
good great
priority.
mix-up options, 3 abilities, so much priority. Like
it's a good mon for. I think 7 is passable, but it just fucks up a lot of planning.
I think 7 is a steal. I would pay more than that for Hariyama. But
I would pay at least 9 for Hariyama.
Yeah.
I got it for 4 last season. To see that it's 7 now just kind of kicked me in the nuts.
And I will say, like, it's not the easiest thing to use. Like I said, like, you know, it takes a little bit of work to figure out which Hariyama to bring every week.
Yes.
And it's not Mega Altaria do or die, where if you bring the wrong one, you're screwed. But it's definitely going to put in noticeably less work when you bring the wrong one.
Yeah.
Uxie's good at what Uxie do.
Uxie plus Healerless gives him Bolt Turn.
Yeah, and that's definitely kind of, you know...
And U-turn Manaphy, thank you.
Oh yeah, true.
Does Mega Aerodactyl get U-turn?
No.
God, why Aerodactyl? Why do you make me sad?
It would have to be really good if it had U-turn, but it doesn't.
It would be
amazing.
It would be amazing. Good rock
Just like
setter.
if it had good flying stab. Which it doesn't have.
Aerial Ace.
Aerial Ace.
Give Aerodactyl Brave Bird, please. I mean, can you think about it? Like, freaking Tough Claws Brave Bird.
Well, even regular Aerodactyl would then get Rockhead Brave Bird.
Oh, true. Oh, that's so spooky.
Yeah.
That's very spooky.
That's why they'll never do it.
That'd be straight to OU.
Yeah. Chandelure is cool. It's a ghost. Like we said, ghost is very good. It's one of the good fires that fell way down, actually. Like, way down. It is slow, but he's got some... Actually, a lot of his team's fairly slow.
Yeah.
That could be a problem.
He's got, what, 109, 140, 100? That's like his fastest stuff that he's got. Then
Yeah, then...
Drapion at 95.
Yeah.
Yep.
When Drapion's in your top 4 speed tiers. More value.
Reminds me of my Season 3.
Yeah, tell us about how good Drapion is, Adam.
I traded it away.
Drapion,
not good.
it's...
Drapion would be good if it got... It has giant freaking arms. Why the hell does it not get Sucker Punch? That's all.
Yep. It needs some sort of priority, but it's passable. Like,
Yeah, it's not terrible. It's just if it just...
It's better on paper. It's better on paper.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you look at its typing on paper, and you look at its stats on paper, and you're like, alright, it can do this. Then you start going through the moves, and you're like, this is kind of a desert wasteland of not a lot of options, and,
Yeah, it's...
you know.
There's a reason it's RU.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
too strong
and-
for NU, but it's not a standout in RU.
That would have been a good spot to throw that extra 2 million.
To get
Like,
something like
Yeah.
8 mil, yeah.
Yeah, to go up there. Or, you know, just drop the Togetic altogether and go up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Togetic at least gives him another defog option.
Yeah.
But he's got Excadrill.
Yeah? Yeah.
But Rapid Spin Extra Drill every single week.
What else are you gonna run on it?
Hopes and
Like-
Dreams, Sword Stance. I don't
Like
know.
you're gonna run Iron Head, Earthquake,
Rock Slide.
maybe a boosting move. Like, I mean,
Doesn't
a
it,
lot,
does it not get Aerial Ace?
a lot of the things you need
It does.
Rock Slide for, Mold Breaker takes care of. You know, like it's literally just the just the actual flying types you need the rock move for, and you've got Mega Aerodactyl.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, okay. Alright. I'll give you that.
you've got Mega Aerodactyl and Heliolisk, like 2 fast things that have stab that wreck flying types. Like,
Stealth Rocks, maybe?
Yep.
yeah, you run rocks on Excadrill. What else does he's got? Mega Aerodactyl for rocks.
Uxie as well.
Does Drapion do rocks? I feel like that's a thing it
Drapion does not do rocks.
It's not just Toxic Spikes.
More useless.
Like,
Toxic Spikes. I mean, Toxic Spikes might actually be decent because there's several teams without poison types.
Yeah.
mhm.
Like, it kind of just shafts teams like Kelly.
Yeah. I mean, the Sand Slash will come in, but it's not going to enjoy it.
And then that shit just brings on the Whittle game.
Unless Juan brings a Skuntank, he kind of gets pooped on by him.
Yep. I don't know.
So, yeah.
But, okay, so that's all the teams.
Woo.
It took us 2 hours almost. Good God.
When we
there's a
have
lot of bad things to talk about.
10 minutes of Empoleon talk, you know that it's going to be long. So.
Alright,
Empoleon is bad, children.
it's
Bad.
passable.
It's not.
At best, it's passable.
Empoleon at half the points might be good.
Oh, come on. Alright, okay. Thank you, you two, for helping me out with this, because me doing it by myself would have been incredibly boring.
You're pretty boring, so.
I am really boring. Thank you all to the viewers who sat through this entire thing. And hope you all enjoy the upcoming D2 content. So,
Woo!
yeah. Okay.
Yay.
I'm gonna click the stop button. Anything you two want to say?
Please tweet out the appropriate hashtags.
Thanks, Spiky Turd Dragon.
And make sure you at the PPL Twitter so they can see that too. Alright.
Yeah, that's the important one.
Thank you all for watching. Thank you all. Thank you two for joining me, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.